Hey everyone, welcome. It's Thursday and it's time for another release roundup. This is the show where we go through and talk about what's new in Alexa, what came out in the past month or so. So I've got three updates for you. Not a lot of updates, but three. And I think one has probably affected all of you or will touch all of you in some way, which is the Ask CLI V2 came out. I'm having a lot of fun with it actually lately. I've gotten pretty deep in it, at least for as deep as I was with V1, I'm much deeper in V2, which is fun. So I'll be able to talk about that a lot. We've got that to talk about. There's some new redesigns that happened on the console we can talk about. But more than anything, I'm just happy to talk to you and hear your questions and get your questions. I've also got Amit on the chat with us, and Amit will be helping behind the scenes. I think Amazon Alexa will be here helping out too. So we'd love to take your questions. Amit and I have both been deep into the CLI lately and doing some cool stuff with skills. So we're happy to talk about all of that. So here's what we've got to talk about today. Let me make sure that this shows up here on this screen. There we go. So we're going to talk about the Education Skills GA. So that was announced, I believe it was announced at maybe Remars last year, but it was announced late last year. But now it is GA today, so as of today anyway. So that's the first thing we'll talk about. The second thing we'll talk about is the new long-form speaking style. So I think a lot of you that have built skills have used Poly in your skills. Poly is a way to give your skills a different voice. So we're all familiar with the Alexa voice. Poly lets you add different voices. So I'm building a skill right now, for example, that uses the voice Brian, which is a nice British voice that gives my skill a certain air of authority. Hey, Happy Space. Welcome, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Gold Zulu is here. Good evening to you, Gold Zulu. Brian is a voice. I think Jeff Blankenberg uses the voice Matthew on his, but we've got a few voices to talk about, and then I want to demo some of the speaking styles to you too. So we'll talk about that, and then finally I want to save the Ask CLI V2 for the very end. So CLI V2 is a new update. There are some things that break from V1, so if you've used CLI V1, you may have noticed this already if you've moved to V2. So I'll be happy to help you get past those breaks that you're finding that you might be running into. Hey, Trey Lest, good to see you again. Always good to see you. All right, so let's talk about the education skills first. Now, this is good if you are building skills that help students, for example. And right now, this is actually a very timely skill, or a very timely release. But the Education Skills API will let you leverage things like Blackboard or Coursera. So here are some sample ones that we have. Alexa, what homework is due this week? I'm sorry if I'm waking your devices up. You should know on this stream you should probably mute when we start these so we don't wake your devices up. But you can ask Alexa, what do I have due tomorrow? Are there any school messages? Anything like that. So these are APIs that give you access into these services. So let's look at this. Let's see, I've got a link here and I'll share this with you. Let me share this one here. So there's that, and then the technical documentation for this education skills is here. I'd be curious to know if any of you are using these yet. If any of you were in the beta and now you're excited about the GA. But I'd love to know, hey, who is it? Wes E. Vertigo. So nice to see you. Good to see you. Thanks very much for joining us today. Right now we're talking about the first of 3 releases, and we're talking about, there we go. We're talking about the Alexa education skills. So here are Alexa education skills. Let's look at some of the key features. So coursework information. Students can use this to learn about what coursework they have available. I have a child right now that is doing homeschooling because of COVID-19, and it would be helpful. We don't have this integration into he's using Schoology. So I don't think Schoology works for this just yet, but now the API will help people build those out. Fishy, let's see, Fishy welcome screen frozen. I hope it's not frozen, let me know. Looks like it might be okay. Lord of Sound and Amit say it's okay, but yeah, Fish, let me know if you're having trouble still. And I'll keep pasting these links here just so you'll have them. So we've got, let's see, I've pasted those. So I'm curious to know, has anyone played with this yet? Does anyone have any questions on this? Fish is good to hear it. I can tell my camera needs a little bit of adjusting. It looks like I'm really, there's a lot of contrast, huh? My guess is not a lot of you have played with this yet. I have not played with it yet, but I do remember when it came out thinking I could think of some good skills to build with this. But this is the important part, the application APIs. So these are where you can use APIs to connect to those backend services. So if no one has questions on that, we're going to move on then to the voice experiences. Let me paste this blog here for you. Again, this is the second of the three main things we'll talk about today. But this is the long-form speaking voices, long-form style, the new poly voices. Let me paste this link for you too. These are the technical documents for it if you need those. And I think it'd be fun to kind of play with these. We'll do a couple of demos here. So GA means will it be available in Spanish markets too? Okay. Hey, Fede Block, welcome. So I'll have to let Amit tell me the regions, so Amit can look that up for us. It's not, there are some features of, oh, you're talking about education skills. That's a good question. There are some features of this voice skill that are available in US and some are available worldwide. Let's see. Let's see if we can find this on education skills. Amit, there's a link I sent earlier in a Quip doc. If you go to that, it should show you, and WES, it means generally available. GA is generally available. Let's see if we can see regions on this, because I don't know for sure on the education skill. You know, here's my guess. I'm just going to guess here, but we'll find out for sure. That since they are APIs, and they're APIs specific to these educational providers like Coursera and Blackboard and all of these, that those are probably global skills, and the APIs will work for those. And Amit is on it. He is on the hunt. But I do want to see, let's see if we can find it here. There's some technical documentation right here. So here's some sample utterances. Alexa, what are my grades? How are the kids doing in school? Log 2. Not yet. Okay. Oh, you checked on the console as far as the Alexa console, Fede Block? Okay, educational skills support the E and US locale only. Yeah. And I know that's frustrating. I get that, especially we do have a large global audience, but we typically start off, AWS is the same way when we start services off. They typically start here and they spread out as soon as they become more stable and we can get into the other markets. So I'm sure they're working on it behind the scenes as fast as they can. Okay. This actually isn't interesting. Let me paste this Alexa guide to EdTech too. Neither an MX or ESUS. Okay. Thanks for looking that up, everyone. That's great. All right, let's talk about the new speaking styles. So this came out April 16th. It's a little, I think I can turn this up. Let's make sure I've got a good volume here. We're going to try this and just see. So I'm going to play two different styles. There's a new long-form speaking style. So let me play the neutral style first, then I'll play the long-form style. And I want you to see if you can tell the difference. Here's neutral. And then someone can let me know if the audio is too high or too low.
Meet Echo Dot. Our most popular Echo is now even better. With a new speaker and design, Echo Dot is a voice-controlled smart speaker with Alexa, perfect for any room. Just ask for music, news, information, and more. You can also call almost anyone and control compatible smart home devices with your voice.
I'm going to turn it up to 36. Just let me know if it's too loud. And so the way I'm getting to this page, I believe I've pasted the link. Quidian, thank you for joining, and thank you for letting me know. I'm going to can't hear Alexa. Okay. Let me turn it up just a little bit. I'm going to turn it up to 50, and if it's too loud, let me know. Either way, let me know. But that was a neutral. I don't know if you heard it. We're going to play a little bit.
Echo Dot. Our most popular Echo is now even better.
Can you hear that at all?
Speaker and design. Echo Dot is a voice-controlled smart speaker with Alexa, perfect for any room. Just ask for music, news, information, and more. You can also
How's that volume?
Anyone and control compatible smart home devices with your voice.
And yes, Lord of Sound, it goes to 11. It was better, and then you turned it. Okay, so what's happening is I've got a speaker on the floor, but it should be creating audio from my desktop. That's okay. Let me play it one more time.
Meet Echo Dot. Our most popular Echo is now even better. With a new speaker and design, Echo Dot is a voice-controlled smart speaker with Alexa, perfect for any room. Just ask for music, news, information, and more.
Okay. Claudian, thank you. I agree. It's going through. Thanks, everyone. Good. I'm glad it's better. It's going through my speaker and not my desktop, so I'll have that fixed before next time. So I'm going to let it keep doing that for the rest of this episode, but I'll make sure that volume's up for us. Okay, so that was neutral. And let me play long form. So the same exact text, but in long form style.
Meet Echo Dot. Our most popular Echo is now even better. With a new speaker and design, Echo Dot is a voice-controlled. Meet Echo Dot. Our most popular... Meet Echo Dot.
You definitely hear a
Our
difference.
most popular Echo is now even better. With a new speaker and design, Echo Dot is a voice-controlled
Good.
smart speaker with
Wes
Alexa,
likes it.
perfect for any...
Good. And so, Wes, that brings me to one more point. I want to play this one for you now. So, Lupe is a new one for our Spanish.
Amazon Future Engineer
Listen to
está
this.
ayudando a los estudiantes de informática de colegios que lo necesiten a prepararse para los exámenes de colocación avanzada.
Okay, so that's neutral, and listen to speaking style long form. Here we go.
Amazon Future Engineer está ayudando a los estudiantes de informática de colegios que lo necesiten a prepararse para los
Me gusta
exámenes
too.
de colocación avanzada, AP, a través de donaciones de laptops y nuevos recursos en línea gratuitos.
Yeah, Lupe is a really good one. Lupe, Guadalupe. All right, so that's Lupe. And so I think a lot of you have heard Matthew. It's been around for a while. Joanna, we'll get to all these now, but let's go back to Joanna, and we'll listen to a little bit of each of these. So this is newscaster style. So listen to this one.
With a new world
Actually,
of social...
Let me play the conversational style first.
Connect with your favorite people. Make hands-free video calls to the Alexa app.
That's pretty good, but it's also a little robotic sounding. Now listen to the neural style.
With a new world of social distancing and stay-at-home orders in place for most of the country, customers have generated unprecedented demand for grocery delivery.
Yeah, I like that. I like that news style. Conversational. Let's listen to this.
Connect with your favorite people.
Connect with your favorite people and...
Connect with your favorite people. Make hands-free video calls to the Alexa app or another Echo with a screen. Use announcements to send voice messages to...
So the prosody is a little different. There's more of a flow. I like that style. Lord of Sound, AWS Poly is actually amazing. I really like Poly. It is good. And Lord of Sound has done some cool stuff with it. All right, audio sample. We're going to go Matthew. I want to hear conversational.
Connect with your favorite people. Make hands-free video calls to the Alexa app or another Echo with a screen.
It's a little robotic sounding. It's not bad.
Connect with your favorite people.
Way better.
Make hands-free video calls to the Alexa app or another Echo with a screen. Use announcements to send voice messages to every room with a supported Echo device, or use drop-in as a two-way intercom between rooms.
That's almost real. Like, it almost feels... I could be fooled by that one. Cluidian says, it's curious. Newsreaders sound different to sports announcers in the same studio. They sound different to sports announcers in the same studio. Are you talking about the sound, the style that sportscasters make? Or sports announcers make? All right, so you can do this in your skill. I'm going to load your skills, and let me show you, in case you haven't done it before, I'm going to show you how easy it is. So I'm going to log in and use one of my skills. Everyone close their eyes while I type my password in. And, oops, I've got to do this because it thinks something fishy is going on. Whoops, that's not what I want. Right here. 7N63MP. Maybe. I'm waiting for Lord of Sound to build a CAPTCHA bot to beat that. Alright, so let's go check this out. Can we apply conversation? This is trade last. Can we apply conversational to the standard Alexa voice? Let's go find out. Oh, to the standard Alexa voice. I don't. We're gonna try it. We're gonna try it. Before I say I don't think so, but we're gonna try it first. Let's go here into the console, and then that was Lord of Sound, or that was trade last. Cluidian says voices need to be tailored to purpose. Yes, I agree. That's a good point. He's saying voices should be like the conversational voice that we heard is a different style than newscaster, and it's really just a if you listen to audio or watch a newscast from the 1950s, for example, that they had a high pitched, really fast style of talking. And it's really strange or really neat to me to see how it's changed over the past 4, 5, 6 decades, whatever it's been. And so maybe this conversational and this newscaster style that we hear today will be completely different than it is half a century from now. But you're right, it does change in the situation. Sportscasters would probably not use that newscaster style. All right, we're going to try a few things. So, Matthew and Joanna. Yes, Matthew, Joanna, I believe those are the two that you can apply it to. But I do want to try with Alexa, the Alexa voice. So we're going to go to voice and tone, and let's do this. Today is the release roundup for April. So we'll just hear Alexa say it.
Today is the release roundup for April.
Okay, we're all used to that. Let's go back to Joanna. I think this domain, where's Amazon domain? Okay, Amazon domain news. Let's try this. We're going to try to add this to it. I think we might need more. Oh no, what did I do? We have to go back to test. We may need more text. Let's see. Today is the release roundup for April. And then I'm glad you all could join us today. And let's add a little bit here. So we're going to put this Amazon domain news. It already looks like it doesn't like it, but we're going to try it anyway. Do I need Amazon domain or Amazon to close it out? Amazon domain. See this red over here? Oh, maybe it's going to work. We're going to find out. Let's see. Gold Zulu says the Poly console at AWS is also awesome. It can dump huge text files in it too. All right, here we go. And then Lord of Sound likes Emma lately. She's a nice pair for Brian.
Today is the release roundup for April.
So it does work.
I'm glad you all could join us today.
Let's see what that sounds like without news.
Today is the release roundup for April.
So
I'm glad you all could join us today.
it sounds a little, it's still Alexa's voice. It does sound a little bit different, but I like that style. So yes, Trade Glass, I believe that was you that asked it, right? Try conversational. Okay. So let's do Amazon domain. And let's do domain name is conversational. Is it conversation? Let's try all first.
Today is the release roundup for April. I'm glad you all could join us today.
That sounds like the same, doesn't it? I'm gonna hear it one more time, then we'll take those away. It sounds standard, Gold Zulu.
Today is the release roundup for April. I'm glad you all could join us today.
Okay, let's take this off.
Today is the release
Same.
roundup for April. I'm glad you all could join us today.
Lord of Sound says use the AWS console. It's much easier, and I agree. It is very easy. So you can have control over the width of this. The thing is, I don't have my YubiKey that will let me get into my AWS console from here, so we'll have to pass on that one. Yes. Okay, so that's those two lists. Any more I want to show you here? Let's listen. We heard Matthew, and then these additional voices. Here's the Espanol US. So Penelope, let's try all of these. Penelope, Lupe, and Miguel. Can I put these here? I think I have to do it one at a time. Let me do this. Speak. We'll listen to Penelope first. Oops, what did I do wrong? Oh.
Hola, mi nombre es Penelope.
Okay. Penelope. Let's hear, was it Miguel and who else? Luis, maybe? Lupe. We've heard Lupe. Let's go to Miguel. Speak. Voice name is Miguel. Hola, mi nombre es Miguel. All right, let's try that.
Hola, mi nombre es Miguel.
Konnichiwa to you, Lord of Sound. Lamp Yellow. Oh, Justin Jefferson's here. It's a party now. Sharpie Sharp. Who's Sharpie Sharp? Did I miss someone? Okay. So Miguel, Lupe,
Hola, mi nombre es
Penelope.
Miguel.
We have French Canadian, Mexican Spanish. Oh, Mia. Let's try Mia. Oh, so we do this. I didn't add that part. Let me add these. Did I add these two? Let me try this. Let's try Mia. I have not played these yet, so I'm kind of excited to hear this.
Hola, me llamo Mia.
Me llamo
Hola.
Mia.
Hola, me llamo Mia.
French Canadian. Je m'appelle Chantal.
Salut, je m'appelle Chantal.
Okay. This is getting pretty good. These are sounding pretty realistic. I can't speak any Portuguese, so this will be fun. Who's our Portuguese speakers on the channel? Try Giorgio with some English text. It will change your life. Okay, we're gonna try.
Olá, meu nome é Vitória.
Mi nome. Okay, my name.
Olá, meu nome é Vitória.
Olá, meu nome é Camila.
Oh, nice.
Olá, meu nome é Ricardo.
All right, let's try. So you're saying Lord of Sound. Try Giorgio with English text. Giorgio Can Giorgio speak Portuguese? We're going to find out.
Olá, meu nome é Vitória.
Okay. And in English, hello, my name is Giorgio, and we want E in US, or should we put it in? Let's try.
Hello, my name is Giorgio.
Wow, that's good. That's really Andrea, our one of our other streamers. That's really good. I like that sound.
Hello, my name is Giorgio.
Okay. So those are some of the new options you can do, and there's plenty more to check out. You've got the link now, so I hope you have fun with those. Ricardo. Here's a blog post. Good. So Amit's going to post the blog post with all of those, but there are a lot of fun ones there, so check those out. And maybe think of some cool ways to use it in your skill. So I'm building a skill now that it's a mystery game. It's an 80s retro game, and it's kind of a mystery choose-your-own-adventure game. Did I already close my... I did. But I'll let you hear. I'm using Brian, so if you haven't heard Brian before, Brian is good for, again, for having a nice official sound, and at least in my opinion. Maybe if I was British, then I would think it just sounded normal. But as an American, the British voice is really cool to me. So I'll let you hear the just the opening for it.
Hello, Will. Welcome back to Enemy Unknown.
I told him my name was Will.
Here's where we left off. You quickly move into your closet, taking the encoded message with you. You
Oxygen
hide
box.
behind a LAN coat, and take a deep breath to slow your heart rate. You hear the window glass break and the noise of someone climbing through.
Auction. All right,
You
let's stop
peek
that.
out and see a
So
mess.
Auction Box says we need the Gilbert Gottfried voice. Let's see. That was not a built-in sound from Alexa, Lord of Sound. That was it was called Rewind. It was a Rewind MP3, but I'm happy to share it with you. You're talking about the rewind sound, right? The tape rewind. But in case you don't know, there's an Alexa sound library. I know a lot of you know, but in case you don't, the SoundKit library is really useful. So I use it quite a bit in this too, but it's really easy just to add it. So let me add this. Let me play this for you. So if you need to add sound effects to your skills, this is one really easy way to do it.
This is Alexa's regular speech, followed by the sound effect named Bear Groan Roar. 1.
That is what my stomach sounds like right now. All right. Let's move on to the CLI, because I think we're going to have some questions on the CLI, and now's the time to get them answered. So the CLI version 2 came out, and I'm actually not sure how many weeks. It's only been a few weeks. I think it's relatively new, but the thing I really like about it right now is the pace of releases. So CLI 2 came out as of Friday of last week. I was using version 2.2 that had already come out, and as of today, they're at 2.5.1. So there are new features, new fixes being added multiple times per day. And then Lord of Sound brings up a great point. He says he's using version 1.7 because of Skill Flow Builder. So if you use Skill Flow Builder, let me show you that. You do have to lock your skill to 1.7 or your CLI to 1.7. So Alexa Skill Flow Builder. Amit says the bear sounded like an amped up sports bike. And Gold Zulu has a good option, so he's built an alias to switch between the two. So I guess Gold Zulu, you have maybe Ask V1 alias to hit the old one, and are you using NPM to manage those two versions? So SFB is what we call this internally. It needs 1.7 for now, so I've got it here. You guys have seen it. We'll do another show on Skill Flow Builder if you need it, but you will need to lock to 1.7 for that. But V2 is out, so let me paste the links for that. Here's the blog post talking about V2. And Amit, if you have that post handy you found earlier, the install, maybe it's here, but to the migration guide. So here it is, V1 to V2 migration guide. I'm going to paste this too. So if you are using V1, this will help you get your new skill to V2. So go through these steps, get it to V2. It's not too painful. And then some of the things you might be used to, instead of ask init, it's now ask configure. Ask API is now ask SM API, Skill Manager API. Ask deploy if you're using Alexa hosted skill. So if you're not using your own Lambda behind the scenes, you're using Alexa hosted, you'll just use git push now and you manage everything with git. NPM, trade last. Is there a Conda-like environment set up for not NPM so you can switch between 1.7 and 2.0? I think it's just NPM in general, right? Can't you do NPM use? Let's try it. So NPM, do I hopefully have it? NPM use. NPM, maybe not. Yeah, so I'm going to need an NPM expert to tell me, because I do most of my coding in Python, and Conda is great for switching environments. So Gold Zulu must, here we go. Oh, so Gold Zulu, you do you're installing it each time. So you npm install -g, and then lock it to the version 1.723. Okay. But there's not a Conda version of NPM? Right, you need some kind of virtual environment. Okay, so let's go through questions on CLI V2. Gold Zulu has some good tips. I know he's used it. Justin has probably used V2 for a little while now too. Justin, can you think of any roadblocks you hit? I can tell you. Let's see. My biggest roadblock was deploying on Windows. So I was doing ask deploy, and so when you do an ask deploy on Windows, it runs a PowerShell script behind the scenes to gather your files. This is at least for Python, so I don't know if it works the same for Node. In fact, I know it doesn't. It's a Python specific issue. But this was causing some issues on Windows versus Mac. Macs worked great, Linux worked great, but ask deploy on a Python project was giving me problems. But we have a fix for that now, so that's good. But that was the major one I ran into. Nagrant? I haven't seen Nagrant. Nagrant NPM. Prepackaged. Oh, it's a Vagrant box. Yeah, so you could use a Vagrant box. That seems heavy too. Like a virtual machine almost to use your different packages. I guess you could do that. Is there just NPM version of Conda? Let's see if. Node.js inside a Node equivalent. Let's try that word. Equivalent of Conda or VENV probably. Let's try that. Oh, Node-env. I have heard of this. Let's try this. Did someone already beat me to this answer? Virtual environment for Node integrator with virtual env. So check this out. I'm not endorsing it necessarily. I haven't tried it, but it might be something you need. It's got 1.2k stars, so maybe it's good. Let's see. We have Fedablock. We had a lot of troubles working with SFB on Mac and Spanish. We developed our own Twine engine, available in Mexico and US too. Let me see this link. Señor Presidente. So this is what did you use Skillful Builder for this Fedablock? I'll try that out. That looks good. So you use, let me reread this now that I've seen your thing here. A lot of trouble with SFB, so you developed it. I don't know what a Twine engine is. Tell me about that. Twine engine. Oh, nice. So this is what I'm building myself. Maybe I should have used Twine. Oh, Twine looks like SFB a little bit. This is a good find. I like that. I'm going to check that out. That's a good one. An interactive story builder. Okay, good. Lord of Sound says separate boxes for different configs. Can't stand library DLL wars. You can lose a week on one of those. Yes, you can. Yeah, they're frustrating. So maybe Gold Zulu's approach for using Nagrant would be a good one. I'm a working SFB Vagrant. All right. So that is CLI V2. I'm gonna do a sample project in it real quick just so you can see. So we're gonna let me go to a new directory. Ask new. Hopefully you can see this okay. I'll wait till the screen catches up to make sure that. Here, let's do this just to be safe. There we go. You should be able to see that. So it's very similar to V1. I believe there are there are fewer choices now. So Node.js, Python, Java, fewer as far as I think you could pick like Hello World, for example, or Fact Skill, things like that. So I'm going to pick Python because that's what I like. Then you can do these 3 options should look familiar to you. So Alexa hosted skills, that's where your code is hosted on the Alexa platform. You don't need your own AWS account. AWS with CloudFormation if you need to do spin up some extra resources, and then AWS Lambda. So I'll pick Lambda. And here's where we can pick a couple of skills. One thing I've noticed is that I'm going to keep the sample skill name. And this... Oh. This might be because I've already tried to clone this one. Let me try it again. We'll go with fact. Oh yeah, Hello World skill already exists. Okay, we'll just do it. Let's go to temp. And you can see that. Okay, alright. I think you can. There we go. So we're going to do ask new again. And I'm going to start, we'll do Python, we'll do Lambda, and we'll do Hello World. Let's see, who is this? King Abbey 1. Actually, SFB looks like Twine. Yes, I agree. If I said that backwards, you're correct. I think probably Twine was out before SFB would be my guess. Early Alexa dev suggested using Twine for story-based skills. Okay. Let's see. TradeLast says, not sure if Node env lets you set up environments with separate NPM packages, but I'll be checking into it. Good. Thank you, TradeLast. Okay. So we're going to keep these folders. Everything's going to be the same. Then I'm going to go to Hello World. So one thing I noticed is that the code structure for sample projects spun up with V2 is much lighter and much easier to get around. There's not a lot of extra cruft laying around. So you get this by default. The Lambda is very basic, and it uses, if you've done the Python skills before, you remember the class decorators, or the class version and a decorator version. This uses the class version, and I've gone back and forth on which one I like, but this is actually really easy, really straightforward to understand. So you can go through here and look at all of your intent handlers, the launch request handler, and all of that. This actually, yeah, this is the class version. Pretty straightforward. If you want to add requirements like requests, for example, or whatever it might be, and then when you do an ask deploy, it will pip install those and bundle it up. Let's see what I've missed here. Twine's been around for a long time, says the Trinity. Hey, welcome to Trinity. CLI and SFB team will fix this ASAP. They will. I think, it's funny, I was telling Amit this morning, I was doing a stream this morning. Some of you were on there, but I was doing ask deploy. I'm going to do another ask deploy while we're here. And it worked fine. And then the next time I did it said, it worked fine, but it also said, hey, there's a new version available. So while we're doing the stream today, a new minor version came out. Yeah, Gold Zulu likes the new CloudFormation option. I have not tried that yet, Gold Zulu. I do like it too. I've gotten used to doing things manually, and probably too manually, especially if you're going to share the project with people. You don't want to have to manually create resources like DynamoDB tables or MySQL databases, whatever you're using behind the scenes. So CloudFormation is great for that. All right, so we're going to let that deploy. There we go. Anyway, it's very straightforward. I'll show you quickly one in Node. I have a feeling most of you are Node developers, so we'll do that. Oh, it's not. Okay. It doesn't. It gets a little bit angry with you if you try to throw it into a directory that already exists. I'm doing Alexa hosted this time. Lord of Sound wants to get into CloudFormation scripting. Yeah. CloudFormation is good, and it's super helpful. There's also the CDK. I don't know if you've played with that before. Let me show you the CDK. AWS CDK. The Cloud Development Kit. If you're just starting off, it actually might be easier to go with this over CloudFormation. I don't know the integration with deploying a skill yet, though. So if you're trying to do it all from a skill, then you'll need to stick with CloudFormation for now. But CDK will let you. Let me show you some sample JavaScript. Let's see. Do we have an example? Yeah, here's an example. Let's say you want to set up some serverless things. Yeah, so you define your AWS resources in a YAML file, and then you can tell it, what kind of database you want, what kind of connections you want. Here's a widget service. So it's using S3, Lambda, and API Gateway, but you just require these different packages, and then you can configure it. So in this case, they're building a bucket. So with CDK, creating a bucket with cloud, like a deployment script, is just defining the bucket name and then saying new S3 bucket, giving it a name. Link to CDK. I will send you this example first, and then let me send you this. Okay, that's CDK. So let's go back and see if our node skill has finished deploying. It looks like it has. Let's go check it out. All right. Here we go. We've got some skills that are new. So if you remember, the last skill we saw was this Enemy Unknown, which is the 80s game. Here's a sample Hello World classes. Since this one is Alexa hosted, I'm going to go straight to it. Just think, I think a lot of you have been doing skills on here for at least a couple of years, maybe longer for some of you, and how much easier it is to get started now than it was, especially with hosted skills. Here's a hosted skill. It's ready to go. So just the same Hello World kind of skill. I believe we'll need to change the invocation name. Let's check it out. Invocation, change me. We're going to call release Roundup. Save it. Let's go ahead and build it too. Let's see what I've missed here. We've got those. Alternative to SFB is Litexa. We've had this one for a little bit, but here it is too in case you need it. Yeah, and I do like that it has a VS Code extension too. We need Cloud9 for hosted skills. Yeah, I don't honestly, I don't know the roadmap for that, and if it's even on the roadmap. But I agree with you. But there are some neat. I do know that there are some neat things coming with just some Cloud9 integrations. So stay tuned for all those in terms of AWS in general. But hopefully it finds its way over here too. I think it'd be great. All right, so we've got what do we call it? Release Roundup. Let's test it out. Open release Roundup. I may not have. Whereas Cloud9 is an integrated IDE, so an integrated editor, code editor. You can see. Let's see. I wish I could log into my AWS, but I think there's probably a pretty good demo if we just go to Cloud9. Nope, that's not the one. Cloud9 editor. But it gives you almost a full, well, it really is a pretty much a full featured editor in the cloud. There's a lot of potential for it too. Let's see, here's a picture of it. I can't show you a demo, I guess. There we go. There's a link. But you can see it looks a lot like your normal editor would look if you're using VS Code or Sublime or Atom even. But there's a lot of potential for that. So think about the one thing that would keep most of us off of just having a tablet as our main device is the inability for us to program and code. But this really could help us. I think you could have a nice, like an iPad Pro with a keyboard and get a lot of things done now. And I think we're at the cusp of the very beginning of being able to do that. I know there's still a need for a set-top box with GPUs and all of that, but this does get us closer to the right direction. Hey, Karthik is here. Welcome, Karthik. Let's see. Goldzulu says the URL feature is missing. Yeah, it is missing, Goldzulu, but you can do template URL. So Goldzulu is saying if I do ask new, I'll show you. Template URL, it's changed, Goldzulu. It was template, or it was just URL before that, and now it's this. And Goldzulu says I use iPad. Sorry, the iPad in Cloud9. Okay, good. So those are the three things. The other thing I want to show you, just kind of an extra thing, is the UI and documentation has changed a little bit. I think it's a lot cleaner. I think it's a lot easier to get around, a lot easier to hide things and scroll and get different places. There is a new dive deep. So let me cover this for you real quick. So we go to skill builders. Where's our get deeper? So get deeper is this is probably a neat place for you to explore. I'll paste the link here. Karthik coded on your iPhone. Waiting for the day when you can code. I think we're close, Karthik. I think we're really close. I don't know if I want to do it on my iPhone, but iPad, yes. Let's see. Nothing beats finding a marketplace package or VM image that does exactly what you want. Yes, I agree. So, Lord of Sounds had some good experience with that lately too. Let's go through this real quick. So there's Alexa Design Guide, and this is a lot of things that are common sense, but sometimes it helps seeing them written out. Like, be adaptable, let users speak in their own words, be personal, so make it in an individualized conversation. So what I do for that is ask for the player, like in the case of a game, ask for their name and try to refer to them every once in a while. Talk with them, not at them. So maybe don't give orders. These are things, once you read them, you think, oh yeah, that makes sense. But sometimes you need to see them written out to understand. But these are good design guides. Voice experiences, best practices by categories. So if you want to use different audio, for example, this will talk about the types of audio. So I think if you know this already, but if you've used sound, you have to format them to a certain bit rate, and they have a certain length. Here's long form audio. There are speech cons, which we kind of showed a little bit today with the bear that growled. But these are good, just solid pieces of advice. Let's see, what have I missed here? Justin says, I've seen people at in-person workshops using an iPad to build Alexa skills. We did this workshop at Mars last year. So if anyone wants to do it, it's available online. It's voiceroboticsworkshop.com. It uses a few AWS services. You will need an AWS account. It uses RoboMaker in specific, but it will give you a virtual robot that you can control with your voice. So you can use the Alexa Skills Kit to build a skill, and you'll say, Alexa, tell my robot to spin around, or tell my robot to move forward, whatever it might be. You can add on your own skills. In the workshop, I believe we do spin around and we do move forward, but it's really simple to change. So you could create a move backwards intent, and you take that forward speed and you just multiply it by -1, and it goes backwards. But the point is, there were 2 students. We did this workshop twice. There were probably 250 students total, but 2 of them only had an iPad. And there's a lot of copy and paste in here. So they were able to copy and paste to AWS console. They did so much just with an iPad that would have taken me forever. I think they're really good thumb typers, especially. They didn't have external keyboards either. Let's see. Haven't tried the latest one. Karthik has not tried the latest CLI. Karthik, when he downloads version 2, he's going to be at 2.5 already, because that's how fast it's moving. All right. Tradeless says you would love to see something in a cookbook, and I would love to know what you'd love to see in a cookbook, because Amit and I are working on some new cookbook recipes. So let me see what this says. Let's see. SSTAM. Hey, does anyone have an example of an Alexa HTTP web service implementation? I think, yeah, Amit has one. Amit, didn't you just write one on Dev2? It's in Python though, SSSAM. But we'll see if Amit posts that. SSTAM. Oh, okay. HTTP call example in the cookbook. All right. I mean, if you want it in Python, we've got one coming. That's and it's already on dev.2, I believe, unless it just hasn't been posted yet. Yeah, Amit's about to post that. And then if you want it in Node, it wouldn't be too much different. But which language do you like it in? SSTAM. Okay. While we're doing that, let's look at a few more Get Deeper things. We're working on some new cookbook recipes for smart home skills. So if you're into building hardware and doing some things, I know Fishy was on here earlier. He's getting into this. We have some posts coming out on that really soon. There's Dev2. Let me look at this. This is Amit's how to make HTTP requests from an Alexa skill to get data from an external API. It's a good read. It's only 3 minutes, and it's really straightforward. So the main request, or the main import you need, is this request library right here. It is among the most popular. I'd say it's the most popular. I use it for just about every Python skill I have. Really simple to add it, and then here's how easy the call is. Even if you don't know Python, you can read this. So we've got a URL. We make a request.get, but you can also do a .post if you wanted. But here Amit is getting this Chuck Norris joke. He's getting the response status code, so it'll be 200, hopefully. You get this JSON block back, and you get a value. So this is the joke right here. So he's doing JSON.data value and return the joke. So really straightforward. Oh, there's a Node version too. Oh, Jamie made this one. So here. Good. So it sounds like we're covered there. But I agree. So maybe it needs to go in the GitHub cookbook. Let's get a link to that too for you. It says, Tim, I've written my Lambda handler in Node. Yeah, of course, that would be great. Keep it in Node then. Cold Zulu, I'm split between Python and Node now, so I have a splitting headache. I always make a case for Python. Here's why. Because Node is really good, and I started off with Node, but I switched a couple of years ago when I started getting to machine learning and AI. And almost all of the good ML libraries are written in Python. So if that's an area you want to get to eventually, maybe you're not there now, but you want to get there, then you should take the time to just kind of start learning Python. And you'll find that there are plenty of examples on, if you have Alexa skills you want to convert to Python, we've got plenty of examples on those. You can always come on here and ask us during office hours for help on those. But that would be my pitch. If you want to get into ML and AI, start switching to Python. But if not, Node is really, really good. It's fine. Goldzulu says Java. I'm not even going to go there, Goldzulu. First of all, I can't do Java, so that's the main reason. COBOL is the way to go. Goldzulu is into ESP32. Good. Yeah, so you can get into some C, some fun C. Way is. All right. So that's really all I want to cover. I want to make sure that we saw the education skills API is out. I want to make sure that you saw the new voices and the conversational and the neutral conversation styles, and then ask CLI V2. Are there any questions? Amit says, learn Python the hard way. Let's go try this link. I have not seen this page. It's pretty though. Oh, I know what Amit's game is here. He wants you to think you're supposed to learn Python, but Amit's true love is right here, Ruby and Rails. He's hoping you get lured in by this link, and then you have to learn this and become part of his Ruby on Rails team, which I'm already on. I like that. All right. What's slightly condescending, Karthik? Oh, COBOL? Oh, learn the hard way. You think that title is condescending? Learn Python the hard way. And what I'm worried about, is it just a book? Oh. I don't want to buy a book unless I buy from Amazon. I want to get right into the code. Yeah, Justin loves Ruby on Rails too. I know, and Justin loves it. Justin loves it for another reason too, because it's got Japanese underpinnings. I believe Ruby was created by a Japanese computer scientist. But now I've got to go check it out, so I'm not giving you fake news. Wiki Ruby. We're just shilling right now. We're just playing around because there are no questions. But if you have any questions on CLI or anything we talked about today, please let us know. Yep, here we go. Rake here, rake there. Goldzulu has been into some deep rake before. Oh, Emmett says they have free HTML. Okay. All right, so are there any questions on what we covered? Or does anyone have any questions in general? How about questions? Are you having trouble with a skill that we can help with? We've got Karthik, Justin, the Trinity, Goldzulu. Everyone on here that I know has built skills before. Whereas, so between this collective brain we have, if you have a question, I think we can solve it. Skin Gabby, is that a T or an F or a 1? That's a 1. How do I get the new API for Python? Okay, so all you have to do, the new API for Python, you're talking about the CLI, or which API are you talking about? And then Medium says, looks like ask deploy target was removed. Is there a way just to deploy your Lambda without CF? Yes. So here's what we would do for that. I'll come back to your question, Skin Abby. Am I saying that right? Skin Gabby, sorry. All right. So Medium, yes. So I have my skill here called enemy unknown. I can make a change to it. In fact, I think I have a few. I can just do an ask deploy. That's it. It goes straight to my Lambda. No cloud formation. So it builds a zip package and shoots it off to Lambda. It looks at any new changes I have. I think right here, yeah, since it was not changed, it can skip parts of it. In just a few moments, you'll see this blue banner pop up where it's compressing a zip file to shoot to Lambda. So yes, it's very easy. Okay, so let's go back to the CLI question. So how do I get the new API for Python? So the API is written in Node, so you'll just do npm install -g ask CLI. That's all you need to do, and then it works for Python. So it deploys Python, JavaScript, or sorry, Node and Java code. So now I have it. I had it anyway, but now I have it. I can just do ask version. I should be at 251. Soundmaster says, I'm still trying to reduce my S3 data out. Yeah, so you think about AWS. If you don't know this, you should know this part. Data in is free. Data out will cost you. So Soundmaster is trying to reduce that. It's an audio skill. It is tiny. I wish the device could just reuse the file since the tokens would be the same. I get charged a couple $100. Wow. You get charged a couple $100 a month for sound out. I wish the device could just reuse the file. So you're saying you wish the Alexa device itself could cache that file, maybe? Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Let's make a new, let's do asks for ask. I really didn't mean to use a pun today, but I'm going to do it anyway. All right, quick question. I don't understand. Oh, let me get to that in a second, Karthik. So, Soundmaster. Can we? We know we can't, but feature request, cache objects at the edge or device. You know, Soundmaster, I just thought of something. You're playing an S3 file, but couldn't you play... You could use CloudFront. This is a question to me. Could you use CloudFront? Use CloudFront to cache at the edge. Yeah, Karthik says the same. So maybe try that. It would be cheaper. Alright, let's go back to... Karthik, I don't understand in the test simulator the concept of the numbers in front of the JSON request. In this simulator here, test, almost $400 on your skill, Fedeblock. Oh, here we go. I duplicate lambdas into different regions and have to do that manually. Yes, CloudFormation can help you automate that. You can just have a CloudFormation per, it'll deploy per region, and you can have that set up. Good, thanks for those answers, Karthik. Karthik, I'm not clear on your question. I don't think this is going to work, is it? Let's go to a different skill. Let's go to my skill that I know works. We're going to do it. Invoke the skill, you'll see the drop down. Oh, I see, yes, okay. I'll show you what that is. I found this on accident. So we're going to open enemy unknown. So an enemy in this particular utterance.
Hello, Will. Welcome back to enemy.
So watch,
unknown.
this should jump up to 3.
Here's where we left off.
I play some audio.
You quickly move into your closet, taking the encoded message with you. You hide behind a LAN coat and take...
I want to stop that.
Thanks for playing, Will. I hope to see you again soon.
I thought JSON output 2, okay. JSON input 2 and output 2. So input, I think on mine what I'm doing is passing, I'm using dialog management, so I'm passing from launch request to a like resume play request. I forgot my name of it. It's probably in here somewhere. Session ended. Let's go to 2. So it says welcome back. Let's go to where we left off, and then it drops me to a new request, which I'm looking for. Launch request. Oh, launch request was the first one. So it's got them. They're in reverse chronological order. And then 1 sends it to, I'm not sure what I'm looking at there either. Maybe I don't know this answer, Karthik. I really have thought it was the multiple responses I was sending. Fedeblock, S3 is our highest cost. IMO was really expensive too until we did some changes. So I'm guessing your S3 charges, the storage is cheap. It's the data out Fedeblock that was costing you a lot. I think you should look at CloudFront as well. I'd like to see the Dev Console Simulator to be able to test the skill as though as an audio-only device. If my code has APL and I check the code to go down the audio-only path, I can run the test in the simulator. Why did it go to session ended request? I don't know if it's because I typed stop or not. Doesn't look like your session is ended. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm going to dig in on that one, Karthik. TradeLast, you say it always goes down the supports APL path in my code. Oh, interesting. You would think that would be... Can we just change this to nothing? No. I see what you're saying. So you, in your code, you have something that says supports APL. You have some sort of logic, which I have too in my code. And you're saying it always goes down there because the simulator is basically an APL device. Okay, I like that. We're gonna get that. I'm gonna get that in front of the team too. TradeLast. Sim always goes to APL. Need a way to test audio only. Is there? This could be a workaround unless you found one already. But let's look at the device log. Is there a way in this device log to see if it's from the simulator? I don't know. There might be, but that'd be a hack for now. Oh. If you uncheck display... Hey. That might work. Welcome, Ice Cream Codes. You might be our hero. Let's try this out. So, he said to uncheck device display.
I don't know what to do with that. Can you try something different?
And you can see there's no APL, so maybe that works. TradeLast. Oh, Fedablock says no. You've tried that before, Fedablock? I would try it and do some logging and see. I've got that same kind of block in my code, so I think it's in main.py. Let's see, where's APL? Yeah, if get supported interfaces handler, so I could test it here too, but I don't think we're going to have time to test that out. Let me try it though. Is not none. So if it is, are we in the launch request? Yes. So we're going to say else. So if there is no APL, we're going to do logger.info no APL path. Let's save that and let's deploy it. I don't know if we'll get it done in the next couple of minutes. We may go... Actually, I've got to jump to another meeting, so I can't hang around to find that one out. But maybe we can. I can be late to that meeting. Let's deploy this and find out. Ice Cream says, if you uncheck it, Fedablock, that's what we do. We force a false in our is API capable function. It just does not render the screen. Okay, so Fedablock's saying that the UI doesn't render, but it still considers it an APL. And that might be true. P. Karthik, that meeting was supposed to be with me. Shameless plug, today at 2 p.m. Pacific, I'll be streaming myself live coding a cactus raising Alexa simulation game on my own channel, Just Jeffress. Yes, please go follow Justin. He's got some really cool stuff. That game looks fun. I read the document for it. There's a really good document that they've passed around to kind of introduce us to the game, and it looks really, it's going to be a fun one. So Wiz has an error. If we delegate to an intent with two slots, one type of search query and one type of something else, the request to the backend contains a search query into the second slot. Are you able to do that? I'm not able to have... I can only have search query. If I have two slots, they both have to be search query. I can't mix the two. Are you sure you're able to mix those? So what I had to do, Fedablock, is... I made a new intent with just search query. I had to actually make a couple of new intents to handle that case. Let's go try this out now and see if we get this logger message. So I've built a logger class right here. This is just something, if anyone needs this, it's on my GitHub, but I'll give you the real one first. So GitHub AWS logger. I found this to be pretty useful. I think it's this one, Jorge Bastida. Yeah, this is a good, I'm going to paste this here. This is not something that we built or anything, so I can't support it, but I can show you where it is. And what I do is let this run in another window. So these are my logs that run. And then that was the last error I got, but now we've got new ones. So I'm going to do, let's go back to the testing console. Try this out. Where's our console? Right here. We're going to reload this. Two slots, but not in the same utterance. Okay. Two slots. Let me read yours again then. You delegate to an intent with two slots. I'd like to see that. I'm having trouble wrapping my head around what that looks like. Open enemy unknown. If you will, FedeBlock, just email me at jeffnunn@amazon.com.
Hello, Will. Welcome
Okay.
back to Enemy Unknown.
Let's look at our logs.
Here's where we left off.
It takes a few seconds for this to catch up. Unless, here we go. All right, so here are my logs,
You hide behind a lawn coat and take a deep
and I don't see that APL thing. So FedeBlock is right. It didn't go to the non-APL path. It just hides it from the UI. So gold star to FedeBlock.
You peek out and see a masked view with their back to you. You can keep hiding or make a run for it.
Karthik says, I've been pondering
What would
building
you like to do?
an Alexa skill that would send a proactive notification when a streamer.
Make a run
Yes,
for it.
I would love that when a streamer goes live. Trade Last would use it. Gold Zulu would. JB Nunn would. All right. I think we've answered all the questions we can answer for now. They're good ones and really good interaction today. So thanks everyone for your questions and the banter back and forth. It was fun. If you don't have any more questions, we're going to wrap it. I'll give another 30 seconds or so for someone to... FedeBlock, I didn't get yours answered, but I think if you email me, I can... And send me your intent. That if you don't mind sharing that, send me your intent, and I'll look at it and see if we can make heads or tails of that. Soundmaster AJ, check out CloudFront, but I'm also going to see if there are ways to do any... I don't know of any ways to cache it on a device, but I think this is your best bet, actually. So try that. It definitely will take your costs down. And then SIM always goes to APL. That's a good one, Trade Last. All right. Thanks all for joining. I hope you have a great rest of the day. Don't forget, Justin the stream at 2 p.m. on his own channel. Tomorrow, let's look at, let's see what we got going tomorrow. I've got a voice and robotics stream tomorrow. I'm going to bring on someone from the AVS side. So AVS is Alexa Voice Service. Eric Faisal is his name, and Eric's going to join me on voice and robotics at 11 Central, 1 Eastern, or sorry, 12 Eastern. Yeah, I have the numbers right. And then 9 Pacific. And Eric's going to talk about using your computer as an Alexa device. So he'll show you how to build in Alexa into your computer and control things. Let's see. Freedom. It would be really cool if Alexa supported decentralized services like IPFS for storing photos. IPFS is the future for filed. This is a new thing to me, so I'm going to look this up. I can't tell you anything about the roadmap. I don't even know about that one, but IPS for storing photos, and you're saying... Huh. So, are you saying store them on the device? Maybe so. Or maybe it sounds like IPFS, IP file systems. Maybe it's able to pull them from IPFS. So maybe IPFS is an endpoint that we need to look at. Okay, that's good feedback. All right, everyone. I'm going to jump to the next meeting so Karthik won't get mad at me, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.